Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good evening. Good morning, everybody, and good afternoon. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Enjoying your day, making it positive, making it everything you needed to be and more. We need to do that more than ever nowadays, guys. I mean, we should have been doing that more than ever. But I do want to emphasize that more than you know, guys. We are in some crazy times right now. But actually, at the same time, this is like, I'm saying it again. We've been in some crazy times for a while now. Okay, it's been years since we've been going through this stuff. Okay, we've been going through this stuff for a while, and it just never ends. We need to find ways. We need to find better ways to express ourselves when we're frustrated. Express ourselves or tell somebody that we're going through some hard times mentally. We need to stop resorting straight over to a gun. Yeah. Violence is not the answer. And yeah, maybe you guys are going to think, oh, you know, he's some flower-toting hippie dude going, peace and love, man. It's the 70s, bro. No, man. No, it's not that. I'm just sick and tired of seeing the same stories happen over and over and over again. Now it's every week. It's an average of every week some mass tragedy happens. We need to find a way we need to figure out something, figure out a solution with this situation, okay? Now, I'm not going to be on for a very long time, but I wanted to give you guys some new updates, and I haven't done a live today, so I figured let me do this quick live with you guys so that you guys know what's going on. I've given you guys a bunch of pop-up videos throughout the day. And so, of course, I wanted to give you guys more information. There's more, too, as well. Talking about some of the victims, some of these heroes. I'm just going to be real. The true heroes. A 9-year-old hero sacrificed their life for the safety of her entire school. No kidding. So we got to talk about that. We got to speak their names because they deserve the recognition and the respect. So anyway, before we go into everything, please do me a favor. You know the drill. Hit that like button down below on whatever platform you're watching right now. I know this is like the fourth time I've uploaded a video on YouTube, so it might be suppressed. Okay, just letting you guys know. All right, but be sure, okay, if you haven't done it yet, of course, hit that like button down below. Send it past 300 likes as you guys start to file in, okay? And of course, please do me a favor. If you haven't done it yet, please do so. Hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell or turn the notification bell to all so that whenever I go live, whenever I upload something, you have the information as well. Okay, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. All right. We got some things to talk about. Many miles to go before I sleep. So we got to get things moving. Okay. But again, this is all terrible news. This is all devastating information. But one of the main things that I find very shocking is that allegedly this monster had plans on doing more damage. We're going to get into it, but apparently Audrey Hale or Audrey Hale was planning on going after their own family as well. Now, there's something interesting. We got to take a look at this article here, okay? Nashville mass school monster Audrey Hale, or Aiden as well, was rejected by her Christian parents who couldn't accept that she was gay and trans. As cops reveal, she also planned to attack relatives. This is absolutely insane. And again, let's be real. We have not heard anything about or received anything about this manifesto. As soon as that manifesto comes, trust me, trust and believe, you know for a fact you're going to go and get it right here on the Pascal Show. Because I'm quite interested to see what they had to say or what they had planned. What was the reason behind this? What was the motive? Because it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And if it was a thing of, if it had anything to do with a political stance on something or anything of that sort, why go and take out innocent kids? Why take out innocent children, y'all? It just doesn't make sense. And I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this. Indeed, Spin Cycle Dragon, this is most definitely a sick individual, someone who is just dealing with something mentally that, you know, if only they were able to reach out to the right people, talk to the right people, something like that, then maybe there would be a different outcome. But again, whatever, if it was political or if it was an emotional situation, or if you had aggressions towards the staff of the school that allegedly she used to matriculate at when she was a kid, why go after the children? It still just doesn't make sense to me, guys. And I'm still wanting to know if there's going to be an answer to that at some point here. And maybe that answer is in that manifesto. And then again, maybe there isn't. Maybe crazy is as crazy does, right? I don't know. But Nicole B., I'm going to read some of your comments before we jump into everything. Thank you so much for the comment. Sounds like someone in power in the trans community set this up for pity, if you ask me. I'm not going to, I don't know about all that. I've been seeing some things, some statements written by specific trans groups, etc. And to me, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going there as of yet. Right now, evil is evil. It doesn't matter what you identify as, what your pronoun is, if you're a man or woman, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Evil is evil, period. If you go into a room or go into a school and open fire on little tiny kids, let alone, let's not forget, even just adults that are just doing their job, you're just evil, in my personal opinion. Okay. Now, I'm hearing that too. Okay, Nicole, I'm hearing that there might have been some sort of political play here, but that's a bad look. Like, okay, let me just say this. Imagine if this monster was Asian and they went in there and they're saying this is for Asian rights, or if this person was black and they walked in there going this is for black rights, whatever it may be, whatever group, political group, ethnic group, whatever they were there for, okay, religious group, what have you, no matter what, it's not a good look for the group, period. Because I'm already seeing very, very conservative commentators trying to take this to that level, trying to take it down that route, trying to be like, oh, see, trans people are bad. No, they're not. This is just one particular person that is messed up. And until we actually get the manifesto, let's stop jumping to conclusions. Let's stop making these assumptions until we actually find out what's going on. Because this could very well be just someone having a psychotic break, which is still terrible nonetheless. Let's just find out. Everyone's pointing the fingers and all that, but there's been plenty of straight white males taking out hundreds of people. Hundreds. Okay? And in my mind, I still look at that and I say, this is still evil. Evil is evil, period. Okay? And I agree with Roberta on Facebook. Thank you so much for the comment. This will never, ever, ever make sense. It never will. It never will. Even with the manifesto, we'll still be scratching our heads, still trying to ask questions, still trying to figure out what the hell happened here and why this happened. Because no matter what, unless we do something, unless we're proactive very, very soon, there will be another one in the next couple weeks. There was another one later on yesterday, if I'm correct. 2 people got lost their lives in a Sikh temple, if I'm correct. The mass tragedies are just they just rolling like water, y'all. Okay. And yes, I agree, Tyler. See, even my dogs are angry about this. They're fighting amongst themselves. It's so stressful. They're fighting amongst themselves. But see, yes, I agree. The problem is the mass tragedies. That's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's frustrating that we have to go towards this world where people feel that these particular individuals feel like, okay, the only way I'm going to make my statement stand is if I go and get a weapon and walk into into a room filled with a bunch of people and take a bunch of lives. It still just doesn't make any sense. It still doesn't make any sense, guys. Okay. But let's get into this article. Okay. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Okay. It really does mean a lot because we're all hurting. We're all upset. We're all angry. But we should have been hurting and angry for a long time. See what I'm saying? This should have been a nerve that's already been exposed. This is just somebody pouring more Tabasco sauce, lime juice, and freaking salt into an open wound. We need to start doing something now. But let me tell you something, a little bit of something about this monster here. Allegedly, this particular person had plans on attacking her own family. Okay. So let's take a look at this, okay? So, Twisted School Monster was at odds with her devout Christian parents because they couldn't accept she was gay and transgender, okay? According to this Daily Mail article. All right, they're exclusively revealing this. So, church coordinator Norma Hale and her husband, Ronald Hale, refused to let Hale, or this monster, who had recently adopted the name Aiden and used he, him pronouns, dress as a man in their home. The 28-year-old loner would instead wait until she left her $700,000 Nashville property to change outfits, according to a well-placed source. You only see what you want to see. Their religion does not allow them to accept homosexuality. And this is her when she was a kid. Crazy. Little Audrey Hale. At one point, she was this particular individual was a innocent little girl. And here are the parents. I'm sure loved their kid with all the love that they could. Crazy. So she was Audrey at home, but when she left the house, she changed clothes. They did know about it. They just didn't accept it. Neighbors in the tree-lined suburban street where the family lived for 3 decades said they were clueless about Hale's apparent transition and remember her as a skater tomboy type. She introduced herself about 1.5 years ago as Audrey once said. I treated her like a female and she didn't correct me. She seemed artistic, quiet, and well-mannered. Police now say Hale planned to carry out more attacks, including against her own family. We've talked to the father and mother. We've searched the home and found 2 more weapons there and some more maps pertaining to thinking about some other incidents. So this particular individual was planning on doing more damage, some against her family and possibly other locations if they were successful with this attack. Imagine that. And I feel like a lot of times we hear that story too, where not all the time, but there's some stories I've heard where if they're successful with this particular attack in with their first attack, they're going to go down the street to this particular place and do this, or jump back in their car, drive to this populated area, wreak havoc there, so on and so forth. So this particular person had plans to do a whole lot more damage, guys. A whole lot. Now I know they didn't identify as female, they identified as male. Just so you know, this is also the 5th female mass monster in history. 5th female, biological female. Hopefully that's okay to say. All right. Just something to think about. There have been some before. There have been some females before. This ain't the first time. This is now the 5th. Okay? Just so you know. On an article I read before. Okay? So, they found some more maps pertaining to thinking about some other incidents. We strongly believe there were going to be some other targets, including family members and one of the malls here in Nashville, but it just didn't happen. This is what Chief Drake said on CBS this morning. Posing sweetly with a bow in her hair, Audrey Hale was the picture of innocence in her 8-year-old yearbook from the actual school, the Covenant School. Covenant Presbyterian Elementary School. Okay, so that is that photo that I just showed you guys just a second ago. Okay? And then now, of course, this is her much older, with her family, with her brother as well, together. So Audrey is transitioning to become Aiden, shown above, with mother Norma and brother Scott. So, but to me, she's got a bow in her hair. She's wearing a pearl necklace. She's wearing a dress. So, I mean, if she was in the middle of transitioning, then that's a little bit of a surprise to me right there. But then again, maybe she was, or maybe they were. So they were so proud of Audrey, apparently. This is from a post from the mom. Her art professor at the Nosy College of Art, hopefully I'm saying that right, recommended her latest project be submitted to the Addies in January of 2018. And this is apparently a grading slip. She got a high grade for her recent work. So she was a talented artist. Here's another photo of her with her brother Scott. She was described as quiet and sweet. And here's, of course, the photo that I've been using on basically all of my thumbnails as of recently. But it's like I said, my mind is still spinning on this. Okay. My mind is definitely still spinning on this whole situation. It's pretty crazy. Sorry, I forgot to put that up. I want to make sure I have that too. So 20 years later, after being rejected by her Christian family when she came out to them as gay, Hale had turned into a monster. Yesterday, we already know what she has done. It's unclear why she targeted that facility. Police also say she planned to attack a mall and family members. Also, we just talked about that too. but she was, of course, her life was taken. I just showed you guys that security cam or that body cam footage as well, where the cops came in and they did the doggone job. They went in there quick too, no hesitation whatsoever. They heard some information from, I'm assuming, one of the faculty of that school. They marched right in there. They searched pretty much as many rooms as they could. They started hearing gunshots. Those gunshots were pretty loud, so it's kind of hard to miss. Apparently, Hale was shooting out of a window from the second floor into the parking lot towards the cops. So by shooting that way, they made their presence known. Cops went up there and handled business. They got down to business, y'all. I hate to say it like that, but that's the doggone truth. Okay? The complete opposite of what Uvalde police did. I'm just going to say it. I don't care. The complete opposite. They didn't sit there and go, now, let's wait. Let's just wait to make sure it's, that could be a TV now. No, they didn't care. They went right up there and they handled what they needed to do. They finished the job. Uvalde. Start taking notes, okay? Because literally, they set a precedent. They set that bar. That Metro Nashville PD set that bar. That's all I'm going to say. And I agree, Shelly. Thank you so much for the comment on Facebook. It could have been much worse. Yes, it most definitely could. And they went in there and within less than 5 minutes, bingo, bongo, bango, it was done. Okay? It was done. So let's continue here. Okay, I got a little bit more. All right. There's still a little known about Hale, how Hale transformed from a sweet girl described by neighbors to a murderous shooter with 2 rifles and a handgun who penned a manifesto and even drew a cartoon about how she planned to attack. So she had cartoon because she was an artist. So she drew it out. She had it all put out in her mind, ready to go. So much. She was even drawing it out. Okay. She was putting it in her own art. Police say she was being treated for an emotional disorder and that her parents believed she no longer had any weapons. They knew that one time she had 1 firearm, but thought she had sold it. Well, I guess they were wrong. In reality, Audrey was stockpiling her arsenal. She visited 5 different stores, buying a total of 7 weapons. This person had 7 weapons. Not only just the 3 that she had on her person, she had 4 back in the crib, y'all. 4 more, so 7 altogether. Now, when they say weapons, it could be knives and stuff like that too, but it could also mean she had more firearms as well. I'm leaning on the side of she probably had firearms, 7 of them. And yes, this could very well be a full-on foreshadowing of her not being mentally stable, having some serious mental health issues. Yes, it could very well be that too. But man, it's if only. And we're going to look at a few of these videos here too, really quick, because we got a few things. There's a video that was up here. Was it up here? Or did it move on me? Where the heck did it go? Okay. There's this video I want to show you guys here real quick. Let me show you guys this. And please, by all means, if you guys are appreciating this live, and it will be a brief one, so please do me a favor, hit that like button down below, crush it. That would really mean a lot. And if you're watching on other platforms like Facebook and whatnot, please hit that like button as well. Be sure to hit that join button as well, or that follow button on any of the other platforms that you're watching here. And of course, hit that subscribe button, okay? That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. I'm going to show you guys this video here, though, because
it's been hard, but it's all.
Hold on, let me make sure we got it up and live for us to watch.
It's been hard, but it's also been.
By the way, this is Audrey Hale. Okay. Apparently they were doing a video, part of some sort of video for the college that they were at. So let me just play this for you guys real quick.
It's been hard, but it's also been.
What? Let me try that again.
It's been hard, but it's also been an amazing experience when it comes to developing my creative talents and growing as an artist. It's been hard, but it's also been an amazing experience.
That's crazy.
When it comes to developing my creative talents and growing as an artist.
So there she is, or there's Audrey getting their degree, basically promoting the school. That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. Promoting the school that she was at and all that. Interesting. We got more. This update as well from the police.
We've interviewed the parents of Audrey.
Let me blow this up for you guys.
We've interviewed the parents of Audrey Hale, and we've determined.
You've determined what? Come on. Come on. What the heck happened here? Why does this do this to me?
The parents of Audrey Hale.
I'm going to have to find it somewhere else, I guess.
And we've determined that Audrey bought 7 firearms.
7 firearms. Son of a gun. Okay, let me this thing's tripping. Hold up. And this is why I hate that. Let's see. Let's try this here. There's a little bit more to this too, so let me pull this up here. Let's rock and roll.
Of Audrey Hale, and we've determined that Audrey bought 7 firearms from 5 different local gun stores here legally. They were legally purchased. 3 of those weapons were used yesterday during this horrific tragedy that happened. We know that they felt that she had 1 weapon and that she sold it. She was under care, doctor's care, for an emotional disorder. Law enforcement knew nothing about the treatment she was receiving, but her parents felt that she should not own weapons. They were under the impression that when she sold the 1 weapon that she did not own anymore. As it turned out, she had been hiding several weapons within the house. We also don't have a motive at this time. We feel that these students that were targeted were randomly targeted. There was not any particular student that she was looking for at the time of the incident. And that's what we know as I speak, and we'll take any questions that you have.
Now, what's interesting is they say they don't know what the motive is yet. Now, they haven't looked at that manifesto. I mean, that's the ongoing and burning question that I got for y'all. Like, why is he saying they don't know the motive if they have that manifesto? And if they've read the unless that manifesto is written in code or something, you know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't they not know about it's some sort of motive? And I know a lot of us have that burning question, like what was said in that manifesto? And if that manifesto is legible, that's got to say something, right? But of course, we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait for that. And I understand they're doing that. I'm sure they're going through this with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that they don't go out and say to the public something that isn't true, because that isn't right. Okay? That isn't right at all. You go out here just all shooting from the hip to say some things that aren't even true, and then the media and content creators gobble that up and run. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they're doing what they need to do to look things up and have the full solid answer for everybody. But now that we kind of know a little bit about that, which is something that I found kind of wild, and yeah, ATLian, I agree. 2023 is wilding out. Like, it's wilding out. It's worse than any year as far as these mass tragedies go, for sure. It is absolutely insane. And Janet Lewis, I appreciate the comment, but we don't know that as of yet. We have to find out what this manifesto is. Even the chief of police, Chief Drake, even said, we don't know the motive as of yet. And he may know what the motive is right now, but he's not going to sit here and say it out loud unless they have full proof of said things. So once that comes out, hopefully by tomorrow, then we can also talk about that as a family. But for right now, we don't know. Okay. All right. And Sadie, I agree. Yes, the past few years have been absolutely insane. It's just revved up even more now. Okay. And yes, Lex Luthor, thank you so much for that. Yeah, smash that thumb. Okay. Give us that like. That would really, really mean a lot. Okay. And yes, let me put that up too. Let me add that. Before this, it was 129 mass tragedies over this past year, and it's only been 3 months. Now we're at 130. Again, it's only been 3 months, y'all. We're waltzing into April right now. We haven't even gone through 3 months successfully without some sort of mass tragedy. It's been absolutely crazy, guys. It's been absolutely crazy. And if this isn't shaking up, if this is not shaking up DC right now, then I don't know what will. Okay? If this ain't shaking up DC right now, I don't know what will. Okay? Some things need to be talked about. We may not be able to remedy everything, but we need to start making steps in that direction right now. Real talk. Okay? So let's continue here, because I got some more sad news to this. I still got more sad stories for you guys, which sucks. Okay? Sucks. I got so many good news things to give you guys, but then at the same time, it's like these things I have to get. It's so sad, y'all. It's so sad. It's so sad. But we got to take a look at this piece as well. Nashville principal ran towards the monster to protect the children of the school. After hearing the first shot, this principal sacrificed her own life for these kids. Her name was Catherine Kuntz. She was 60 years old, and she was the head mistress of the Covenant School. She was found gone in the hallway. Police believe she confronted this monster to try to save the kids. Let me show you what Catherine Kuntz look like? There she is. 61 years old. Lost her life. Sacrificing herself because she was trying to save the kids. Because this is what we do, right? Anything for the kids, right? So let's get into this. So the head of the Nashville school, attacked on Monday by an emotionally disturbed former student, ran towards the gunfire in a bid to save her pupils, it's been claimed. So Dr. Catherine Kuntz, she was 60 years old. She was a 60-year-old principal, was found lying gone, passed inside a corridor, which Nashville police chief said indicated she had a confrontation with Audrey Hale, which we already know about Audrey. Hale shot through the locked glass door at the entrance of the Covenant School at 10:13 a.m. on Monday, and the alarm was raised. Now, one thing I do want to point out, I said this when we were watching the surveillance video earlier today, this has got to be a huge wake-up call for all schools, that we can't just have these glass doors like this. If we're going to have glass doors, they need to be bulletproof. There needs to be something to keep these children safe. I understand you want to have it because it looks good, it brings sunlight into the school, so on and so forth. But at the same time, we have got to be more, these schools have got to be more prepared, because these tragedies are happening. We got guys coming off, randomly walking off the street and opening fire on kids. I mean, I know it was college kids, but at the same time, kids nonetheless, just walking into buildings and opening fire. Same thing with this. This particular monster was able to go into this school with ease just by firing a few rounds into the wall, into the windows of the door of these doors, and they were able to crawl through and do some tragedies and cause some pain. Basically, cause some damage. We have got to be smarter than this now, guys. We need to be 17 steps ahead of all of these monsters. Now we are playing 4D chess. We are. And I hope that the schools, all schools, are looking at this and getting a very, very rude awakening right now. It's time to get some things done. It's time to be proactive here, okay? I'd rather them be overly prepared than underprepared, because that school was underprepared with the accessibility, etc. And it is always that. You never think it's going to be your spot, and then it is. You never think it's going to be your spot until it is. You feel me? Okay? But that is one of the teachers. I just want to show you her face one more time. Okay. Dr. Catherine Kuntz. Okay. 61 years old. I got more. And this one really aggravates me too. This one really aggravates me too, because no kid should be sacrificing themselves. No kid should be put into that situation. No kid should. But we do have a hero schoolgirl. She's 9 years old, who lost her life trying to pull the fire alarm to stop this monster from opening fire on her friends. As families say, they are completely broken by her demise. Her name is Evelyn Deekhouse. And apparently she tried bravely to save her classmates by pulling the fire alarm at the Covenant Elementary School in Nashville. The schoolgirl was described by her family as a shining light and have been left completely broken by her demise. We're going to show you her face too. Here she is, 9 years old. 9-year-old Evelyn risked everything to save as many people as she could. This is a hero. Yes, the cops are heroes too, but at the same time, it's also when you don't have anything in your possession to protect yourself. When you sacrifice your own, you risk it all. You risk your life. When you have things pitted against you, the odds are definitely against you. And you decide, nope, I'm going to pull that alarm. Because if I pull that alarm, the good guys will come. This 9-year-old girl, risked it all. This is a true hero right here. Evelyn Decaus. So a schoolgirl was shot and killed while trying to pull the fire alarm to stop this shooter, okay, from opening fire on her classmates, has been pictured for the first time. Evelyn Decaus, or Decaus, 9, was one of the victims that was aimed at by Audrey Hale, okay? Her family described her as a shining light, and they said they are completely broken by her demise. They added that she had been desperately trying to pull the fire alarm to get help when this tragedy unfolded on Monday. Tributes have flooded in for a second victim, Will Kinney, who was also aimed at and lost their life, along with Haley Scruggs. All of them, by the way, all of them 9 years old. All of them were 9 years old, y'all. His family called him unfailingly kind and always inclusive of others, as well as praising him for loving his 2 younger sisters. Here's Will Kinney. He's 9 years old too. He lost his life as well. You know, it's something. It's the kids, man. It's the kids. All of them 9 years old, y'all. 9. A GoFundMe has been set up by a family friend of Kinney's, and they said Will had flappable spirit. He was unfailingly kind, gentle when the situation called for it, quick to laugh, and always inclusive of others. He loved his sisters, adored his parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, and was always excited to host friends of every age. Sweet Will knew no strangers, and our hearts are broken for his family as they try to find their way forward. And of course, we already know about the headmistress or the principal, Dr. Catherine Kuntz. She was 60. I heard 61, but they say 60 here. They had another teacher, a substitute teacher by the name of Cynthia Peak. She was 61. And Chef Mike Hill, who was also 61, were also lives were lost in this mass tragedy. The daughter of Mike, the chef, who worked at the school for more than a decade, said that she never thought he would be unalived in a mass shooting. Brittany Hill posted online saying, this is the daughter of Mike. She posted online saying, I've watched school tragedies happen over the years and never thought I would lose a loved one over a person trying to solve a temporary problem with a permanent solution. I will not say her name because I will not glorify her actions. I wish the media would not say her name ever again. I'm so sorry for the loss of those children. Seeing their names not called out safe was devastating, as well as the chaplain telling me and my siblings and family this god-awful news. This is Haley Scruggs, a picture of her with her father. She was also 9, everybody. And of course, we already saw Catherine Kuntz, but we also have Cynthia Peak to the right, and a loving photo here as well. Here's Mike Hill, Chef Mike Hill, who lost his life, 61 years old as well. With his daughters, of course, with his family and the daughters in there as well. The daughter that made the statement. His niece added that three other family members who also worked at the school at the time of this tragedy, or there were 3 other members there, but they were not harmed, thank God. Hale used the names Audrey and Aiden, but preferred the pronouns. Her preferred pronouns were he and him. Excuse me. Police confirmed on Tuesday that she or he had previously attended the school in Nashville, but her motive for this tragedy was unclear. Again, we know that this particular monster was dealing with some emotional disorder. They were going through some sort of mental health issue. And of course, I loved what Mike Hill's daughter said, where they try to solve a temporary problem with a permanent solution. And that's something that is, I mean, it's heartbreaking that she's had to say that, but I do love that she said that, because a lot of times these things are fleeting. These emotions, these problems that we have, all that, if you just sit there and breathe through it, this too shall pass. That wave of pain, that wave of issues, whatever, can pass on. But for some strange reason, people are out here thinking that they got to do detrimental actions for these things that could be handled in a proper way if they just approached it in the right way. But we're not talking, we're not treating, we're not bringing up the discussion. We're not having the discussions that we need to have. Period. We're not. We have way too many beautiful souls out here. Man, we had 6 beautiful souls erased from this planet yesterday. 3 of them were lucky enough to at least see their life unfold, right? Their life be lived, bringing other people into the world, being a father, being a mother, whatever, right? Bringing life, having experiences, and becoming an adult. These little kids were rid of that. They were rid of being able to see anything past 9 years old. It breaks my heart that we are in this world, that this is how it is, and exactly what Brittany Hill said here, that we have people out here that are choosing to solve a temporary problem by making with a permanent solution, with a permanent detrimental solution. We got to be better than this, y'all. We got to be better. There's got to be more to this from this point on. We have got to learn from the 130 just from this year alone, just from these last 3 months alone. We have got to learn from these tragedies and come out of these like the Phoenix, stronger, better, faster, smarter. We need to be better. And I don't know what we need to do. We could talk about this, and we could talk about this here on this platform all day long till we're blue in the face, and I will continue to do so. but it really has to do with what's going on out there with the powers that be, with the people that are making the decisions, that are the movers and shakers, that are making the final decisions on what can be and what can't be done in this country. But they're not moving fast enough. This has been going on for years. This has been an ongoing problem for years, and I hope somebody comes in and figures it out. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being here. Okay. I appreciate all y'all for being here, but that is the show. Okay. Let me grab some of these super chats really quick. I totally forgot I had super chats here. Let me grab those really quick. I apologize. Tyler Hackner, thank you so much for the 2. Don't get your hopes up for any action in DC, in my honest opinion. Well, you know, all I can do is keep hanging on to hope and keep talking about it in hopes that things will change for the better. You know, that's all we got. If we ain't got hope, what do we got? You know? Then what do we got? But I do hear you on that, Tyler. I know that feeling. Thomas, thank you so much for the 6. I have to admit, I'm having a hard time processing this. Your show is outstanding, and thanks for recognizing the heroes. Well, Thomas, thank you so much for taking the time. You know, it's hard processing this. Let's be real. This is very, very difficult to wrap all of our minds around, but it keeps happening. And the funny thing is maybe the world thinks that the more this happens, the more we'll just become used to it. The less affected we'll be on this. But guess what? It still hurts the same. It still strikes the heartstrings and it still hits me and all of us in a very visceral way. I'm just hoping that, hey, this one hopefully is the last one for a very long time, that maybe this shakes the trees of some of these people that are out here moving and shaking and making the bills and making the laws, whatever it is. This has got to be a rude awakening for our lawmakers out here. This has got to be. And if it doesn't, then I don't know what else to do. It'll be another huge, massive tragedy. But we've been saying that all the time. We've been saying that countless times. And has anything changed? So I hope they wake up. I hope this one wakes them the F up. I don't know what else needs to be done. Because you can't sit here and go, well, we're going to deploy our boys across the ocean. And we're going to do this. And we're going to get the evildoers, you know. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me. Well, you can't fool me again. You know what I mean? Can't do that. It's right here on American soil. So we got to figure this thing out right the F now. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being here. It's been amazing. Thank you so much for the conversation. Please be sure to hit that like button down below. That would really, really mean a lot. And of course, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that notification bell. I cannot stress it enough. Hit that notification bell so that you know when I go live on these shows, okay? And we got some things to talk about tomorrow. If there's any more developing information about this, you know for a fact I will be giving you guys that in a pop-up or in a live as well. But there is another live that I want to talk to you about with Trenton Langkamp. I think I'm saying that last name wrong, but that is a story that I'm planning on doing tomorrow afternoon. There is a press conference at noon tomorrow, so I will be on to talk about that, about the boy who's basically been, was attacked badly by friends. I don't even know if we shouldn't even be calling them friends, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so be sure to tune in. I will see you guys very, very soon. Okay, I appreciate all y'all for being here. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll be talking to you guys soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Have a great night, guys. Hug your loved ones, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.